You can just unplug it. I'd come up and I'm covered in birds.
Hey guys, what's going on? So this is a 1 week update of the budding friendship of Pillow and Pearl, so to speak. If you all saw our last video, you'll see it was the introduction of the two birds for the first time, and Pillow was very excited and a little freaking out just a little bit, and Pearl was just sort of sitting there, and Pillow was flying around, and Pearl didn't really know what was going on, and it was all kind of, a mess is too strong a word, but I think it was definitely something where we realized it would be a process. So what we did was Kevin actually moved Pillow's cage down from the top of Pearl's cage down onto a little table next to Pearl's cage so the two birds could see each other on a regular basis.
So we moved Pillow's cage from what used to be over here down here onto a little table, so Pillow and Pearl are on the same level and they can see each other all the time. You put a little towel here so that if Pearl wants to be alone, she can just sit behind the towel right there. She normally perches right there, and then Pillow normally perches right around there. But also he can go behind the towel too if he wants a little privacy. So now they seem to get along a lot better now that they're seeing each other all the time. Isn't that right, Pillow?
What we actually did for Monday through Friday was we did not take them out of the cages again together. We kept them separately in their cages and alternated which bird got to come out. So we would just take one out, put them back, take the other one out, put them back, and do that basically Monday through Friday. So again, they were consistently around each other, but just they didn't actually have any physical contact. So over the weekend, Kevin was actually upstairs and Brendan and I were here, and just on a whim, we're like, let's let the birds out again and see what happens. And Pillow was already out, so what we simply did was open Pearl's cage and walk away. And I know some of you had mentioned in the comments the idea that because we were so present with the birds when they met for the first time, that could have been an interference, that they were competing for our attention, and maybe one was jealous or one was confused about any number of different things that could have complicated that situation. So Brendan and I, like I said, opened the cage, walked away, and Pearl kind of hopped up on the side of the cage and sat there for a minute, and then she just flew over and was sitting on the back of the sofa, and Pillow just was on top of his jungle gym just hanging out. And he didn't, probably for 5 minutes, didn't engage her, to the point where we kind of looked over, was like, he knows she's out of the cage, right? Because last time he was completely all up in her face from the very first second. They just kind of met up together and they popped around each other and they looked at each other, and there was a little bit, Pillow was a little bit forward, and Pearl did do a little flapping, a little kind of motions of get away from me, but nothing like the first time at all. And I don't think Pillow ever tried to jump on Pearl's back. Maybe once, but definitely not like the first time. And again, we just kind of stood off to the side and let them do their thing without getting involved. And that was on Saturday. And Sunday they were basically out together most of the day. And it was often quiet, and sometimes I'd look over and they would be in the same space eating together. They would just be standing near each other, they might be walking around together. So I think the friendship is finally coming together now that they're just more used to seeing each other and being around each other and all of that. So hopefully it's gonna be good, right?
Yeah.
So we're hoping Pearl will be a little less clingy with us now that she has a friend, and Pillow has actually been very social with us as well. We were afraid that if once we brought another bird down, that maybe he would completely ignore us, have no need for us anymore. But it's almost like in some ways they're sort of competing for our attention, not in any kind of aggressive or bad way, but Pillow will now frequently fly over and land on our shoulder, fly over and land on our head. He'll jump up on Brendan's arms, which he didn't used to do, and I think he sees Pearl doing that and he wants to be part of that too. I'm hoping that continues because it's fun having not one but two birds who just kind of like to be with you and sit on you, and it's hard when you're trying to work on the computer, I will admit. But yesterday I was doing some work and I had Pearl was falling asleep kind of right on my shoulder here, and Pillow hopped down on my right hand, which I do most of my movement on the computer with. He almost immediately fluffed up his feathers, tucked up his leg, put his head behind his wing, and went to sleep. And I needed to move my hand to work on the computer. And so I was trying to work with my left hand, and that just wasn't working. And finally I had to just kind of move him off because I got to get my work done. But yeah, but it was great. You know, it's a lot of fun having birds that want to be with you. So hopefully this whole little adventure will have worked out in a positive way. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Ah!